Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Get Some. I am your sommelier Danielle Lindau with 5 to Wine Time, and today we are going to get some Zinfandel. Zinfandel is one of my favorite go-to grapes in the wintertime because it is just so big, it's bold, it just makes you feel all warm inside. So I wanted to show you two great Zinfandels coming out of California. Our first wine of the flight is going to be from the Prisoner Wine Company called Saldo. It is their 2018 vintage. Our second wine of the lineup today is coming from Paso Robles, California, from the winery Ancient Peaks. It is their 2017 Zinfandel. 90% Zinfandel with 5% Petit Verdot and the remaining 5% being Syrah, bringing a nice bold flavors. It is coming from the single vineyards of the Santa Margarita Vineyards located in Paso Robles, California. Initially was drawn to this wine bottle because of the label itself. So simplistic, just Saldo on the top, just like from the old label makers. And it made me want to go and look it up. So Saldo actually means, in Latin, here and there, from here and there. And it's the Prisoner Wine Company's way of breaking the status quo of always the need to show terroir. They are actually pulling grapes from 3 different wine regions. They're pulling from Dry Creek, Lodi, and Amador in California to show what the Zinfandel can do. Taking it a blend of those, not only Zinfandel, but they do add a little bit of Petit Syrah and Syrah into their blend to make it nice, big, and bold. So, with Zinfandels, it is that deep, dark, ruby color. Opaque. I can't see through the glass actually. Right off the bat, on the nose of the Saldo, you get boysenberry and black cherry notes, almost as if you're starting to make a berry pie. Just really deep, dark, rich nose. A little bit of dark chocolate as well as black licorice. And even a little bit of black pepper, some baking spice notes. This wine is just big and spicy on the palate with baking spice notes of cinnamon and clove. Again, reminding me of like a big berry pie with the dark berry notes, boysenberry and dark plums. And it's bringing in that peppery notes, almost more like a white pepper on the palate when it was more like fresh cracked black pepper on the nose. With this wine, they do take the time to age it in both French and American oak, which I think is why I'm getting so many baking spices on the nose and on the palate. Using that time to relax the grapes in those barrels really makes the tannins just velvety and smooth on the tongue. It is quite high on the alcohol. It is 15.5, so you get that spicy in the back, and it just keeps you warm in the wintertime. I really enjoy this one with lamb chops, especially if you're doing any sort of berry reduction sauce. But this wine, it is velvety, smooth on the palate, just a really great go-to Zinfandel in, well, any time of year, but definitely in those cooler nights. Our second wine of the flight, this wine is from a single location and all the grapes are sourced from one single vineyard. Again, that dark, opaque color of Zinfandel. This wine is actually 90% Zinfandel, 5% Petit Syrah, and 5% Syrah. So that Zinfandel grape is going to be that star of the wine again. And this time I am getting some leathery mocha notes on the nose. Then comes in those dark berry notes, boysenberry, blueberry. I'm getting a little bit of plum even. Some figs, black cherries, and a little bit of like dusty leather, kind of like a library book smell. On the nose, there's all sorts of different spices going on, just like in the Saldo, where I'm getting cinnamon and clove and nutmeg. And this time it's a little bit more vanilla pod instead of vanilla bean. On the palate, I'm getting more dried fruits. I'm getting figs. I'm getting, instead of plums, I'm getting prunes and getting dried blackberries. That minerality is coming through even more on the palate with a little bit of wet rocks and gravelly notes to it, just a nice earthy side. What I didn't realize until doing a little bit of research on the Ancient Peak Zinfandel, they not only use American oak and French, but they do age their wine in Hungarian oak as well. That is bringing a little bit more of a pine, almost a pine juniper notes to the palate and making a really nice soft elegance. This wine is aged 18 months in the barrels before the blending happens and then bottling. And I think it just shows what different style techniques can do, bringing American oak as well as the French, but doing a little bit of a twist with that Hungarian oak. Both wines have 25% new barrels, so that's why I think those baking spice notes are coming through on both of these wines. And they're great. As I said, I enjoy Zinfandel because it comes with that big, bold, non-apologetic flavors in the glass, on the nose. And that is why I think Zinfandels are a great wine for those cooler nights sitting by a roaring fire. It is 5 to wine time, so grab yourself a glass. Remember to click and subscribe so you can see our next upcoming episodes. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.